In the movie, Dorothy just wants to escape her life in Kansas. Today, Dorothy, played by Retiring Today host Molly Nelson, just wants to escape the working world and needs help from her friends. The Lion, played by certified financial fiduciary and certified financial planner Loren Merkle. And the Tin Man, played by certified financial fiduciary, certified financial planner, and CPA retirement planner Chawn Honkomp.
We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Welcome to Retiring Today. Today we're taking a retirement journey through the eyes of characters from one of the most famous movies of all time. First, I want to address the phone number that's on your screen, though. You can text Journey to this number at any time throughout the show and then start your journey to retirement. No costume needed. What happens is you'll get started signing up for our online Journey to Retirement workshop. This is where you go on a retirement journey through the eyes of a hypothetical couple, John and Sue. From the comfort of your couch, you'll learn more about what it takes to put together a retirement plan. But today, I'm playing Dorothy, and all I want to do is retire. But to retire, I've got to get to the Emerald City. It's a long journey, and I can't get there all by myself. I'm going to need some help from my friends, the Tin Man and the Lion.
Of course, we're so happy to go on this retirement journey with you, Dorothy. After all, you did help me find my courage. You helped the Tin Man find his heart. And you've been thinking about retiring for a very long time, but you are here. You are finally on the doorsteps of retiring, and you're realizing there's a whole lot of decisions you have to make you've never had to make before. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on the yellow brick road all the way to Emerald City, where along the way, along this journey, we're going to build out your written retirement plan. We call the written comprehensive retirement plan the Retire Secure Roadmap. And at the end of the yellow brick road journey, we're going to be in Emerald City, where you're going to have your written Retire Secure Roadmap that's going to paint out all the decisions you have to make as you go to and through retirement. Now, there's 6 pillars in this Retire Secure Roadmap. The first pillar is the lifestyle. This is all the dreams, all the things you've been thinking about doing in your retirement. We need an income pillar, we need a tax pillar, investments, healthcare, and then the legacy pillar. All 6 of those will be in the Retire Secure Roadmap. We're going to make 6 stops along the way to discuss each one of those pillars and how you're going to create the retirement of your dreams.
Dorothy, we're going to pave the way to your retirement down the yellow brick road. So let's get started. First stop, lifestyle plan. Like you said, Lion, lifestyle plan is all about these dreams. Dorothy, you've been working for so many years. Now you're on the doorstep of a retirement, or some of you are even in retirement. Now the time is yours. You get to figure out what this retirement stage of life looks like. It's going to be travel for a lot of you. Maybe that's flying to different parts of the world or even overseas. Maybe it's an RV, traveling across the country and following that yellow brick road. Maybe it's spending time with grandkids. Whatever it is you want to do, the time is yours. You get to achieve these dreams, make every day feel like a Saturday, much like the yellow brick road. These are meant to be the golden years, so it's up to you to figure out what this lifestyle plan is going to be.
And in these golden years, your retirement dreams are going to be such a better experience than the dreams you're used to. We're not going to be talking about tornadoes and flying debris all through this.
That was a bad dream.
That was a bad dream. This isn't going to be anything like that. And the whole point of the Retire Secure Roadmap is intended to get rid of some of those hurdles, like the flying debris and all the things that can hurt you along the way as you make these decisions.
So I'm dreaming about retirement. I know that you guys have done this before. You kind of help people do this. You write a lot of this down. So I'm going to write down my dreams. I write down my dreams, but now as I'm writing them down, guys, I'm thinking, how am I going to pay for them? I'm happy to dream, but paying for it is another concern I have.
So let's jump back on the yellow brick road. We'll skip to the next pillar, which is the income pillar, and probably the pillar that creates most concern for people who are in your situation, Dorothy, looking to make that transition into retirement, because you are used to having income from your employer. But now in retirement, you need to derive income from the money that you've saved and Social Security. Just with Social Security alone, you might have up to 81 different options, and then you have to integrate that into your investment income. And one of the things that's different than what you're used to is you also have to worry about what the market's doing. Because if you're taking income out of your portfolio and your portfolio is down by 20%, that is going to create some hazards for the longevity of your portfolio. So we have to be really careful how you construct your retirement income, work it in with with your Social Security decision and also your investment decisions.
Yeah, and I'm even thinking about, Tin Man, not only the income I'll need now, but the income I'll need later. How do you help people plan for an entire retirement?
Dorothy, I don't know if you've thought of this before, but I'm sure you're going to be thinking about it. If not, we're going to make sure. But oftentimes you're wondering, what is an income plan and how do I develop that? We've got to start looking at the reality. Best way is to figure out what you're doing currently right now in your lifestyle. Figure out what you spend in a typical month or maybe over the course of a typical year to do everything that you want to do. Now we've got to start thinking about that next step, this retirement, where these new adventures come into play. A lot of people want to travel more, Dorothy. I think you want to go to Emerald City and beyond. So we've got to start factoring in these new expense categories, get an idea of what you want that to look like. We include that into what you're spending now, and now we've got a good sense of what your lifestyle requires. We have to start thinking about inflation. We've got to start making sure we can cover taxes. That gets a good idea of what your lifestyle need is. Now we can build that plan and project out what your path down the yellow brick road is going to look like. We assume some growth in the markets, and now, Dorothy, you're going to feel really good that, hey, 20 years from now, the plan still looks solid. The biggest concern is, are you going to run out of money? So having that plan is going to give you a good sense and more confidence to spend the lifestyle that you have and feel good that 20 years from now, 30, maybe even 40 years from now, you're going to know what that income plan looks like.
And I'd rather know now where I stand than find out 10 or 15 years into retirement.
Yeah, you want to know all this information now, because when you have more time on your side, like you do now, you can make bigger adjustments if necessary. So really what you're looking for is what necessary changes do you need to incorporate within your overall income plan, and you're also looking for confidence. You remember, Dorothy, we were walking through the forest and I was afraid of my own tail. You remember that?
I do.
You gave me courage. I want to help you get confidence, and that Retire Secure roadmap is what is going to enable you to make all these decisions, even with the income decisions, with confidence, so you can live in retirement now and live in retirement later.
So we can get to that Emerald City. I know we've got a lot more skipping to do. We've got 4 more stops on our journey to retirement. Stay with Dorothy, that's me, the Tin Man, and the Lion next.
The Merkle Retirement Planning Team provides personable and professional expertise unrivaled in this area. They include us in every step of the planning process. The peace of mind provided to us by the Merkle team allows us to fully enjoy this special time of our lives. Instead of feeling snakebit, we feel confident that with the Merkle Retirement Planning Team at our sides, we can navigate any challenge that comes our way.
Merkle Retirement Planning. Your retirement starts here.
Dreaming of retirement but not sure how to get started? You've been searching for answers online, talking to friends, even getting advice from coworkers, but everyone says something different. You need answers for your situation. Schedule a personalized one-on-one conversation with a retirement planner at retirereadycall.com. Get answers to your questions on your time from the comfort of your home. Stop dreaming of retirement and take the first step towards retiring with confidence today. Go to retirereadycall.com.
Anytime I have even the smallest question about my accounts or what effect the latest tax law might have on my situation, the Merkle Retirement Planning Team is always there and quick to help. I'm so glad they treat you like family. I'm so happy to have such an excellent team working for my future and ensuring I do the best to achieve my financial goals.
Merkle Retirement Planning. Your retirement starts here.
Welcome to Retiring Today.
Oil can.
Quick, Dorothy, oil!
Oh, all better.
Today we're taking a retirement journey through the eyes of Dorothy, the Tin Man, and the Lion. I'm playing Dorothy, and all I want to do is retire, but I've got to get to the Emerald City, and I'm getting some help from the Tin Man and the Lion today. We've already made 2 stops on our journey. We stopped at Lifestyle, built a plan for lifestyle, then we skipped along to income, built a plan for retirement income, but we're not quite to the Emerald City yet.
No, we're not there. Let's keep going. Back on the yellow brick road. Next stop, taxes. Who doesn't like taxes? Most people don't like paying them, but what you do like is saving in taxes. And that's, Dorothy, why you need to have this long-term tax plan.
Long-term tax plan. During the working years, I'm used to just paying taxes each year. So what does it mean to build a long-term tax plan?
And that's why retirement taxes can be really sneaky, because you go through your working years and there's not a whole lot you can do besides maybe making a deductible contribution to an IRA or a pre-tax contribution to your 401k. And that kind of feels good until you retire, and most of your retirement money that you're going to take an income from, you have to pay taxes when you take it out. Let's just say you have $1 million starting IRA in retirement, starting portfolio in retirement. You'd start taking income from it. You don't have a long-term tax plan. Over the course of your projected 25-year retirement, you could pay over $500,000 in your retirement tax bill. That is significant.
Toto and I don't like the sounds of that.
Toto, is that more scary than the odds?
than the Wicked Witch.
The Wicked Witch? So you need to make sure that you have that tax plan, because it's about how do you get more money into your pocket, and the way you do that is by decreasing your overall retirement tax bill, and you don't have to give up and say, I can't do anything. Most people going to retirement can start a really good retirement tax plan that could save hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially over the course of your retirement.
Yeah.
It's so helpful to see that when it is written down. That's what it takes. We have these long-term views so that each and every year, Dorothy, we're going to help you make the best decisions possible and save on total taxes throughout your retirement.
And I know that when you guys aren't playing the Tin Man and the Lion, this is exactly what you do for people. You help them save money on taxes, and it does feel like a new concept to anybody who's getting ready to retire. But really, the way to see what it looks like, how it plays out in real numbers, is our Journey to Retirement workshop.
In the Journey to Retirement workshop, we take you through the journey of our hypothetical couple, John and Sue, and we show you what their specific tax planning strategies are. And where you are going to get really excited is when you see how they save over $100,000 using those tax strategies. And your goals are probably going to be different than John and Sue, but you can use the same strategies to help you save off your retirement tax bill.
Yeah, and I'll let you in on a little bit of a secret. In the Journey to Retirement workshop, they are not dressed as the Lion and the Tin Man.
But maybe we should be.
Yeah, no kidding. That would be fun. You'll see all of our retirement planners, or some of the retirement planners on the team, in that Journey to Retirement workshop. It's as easy as texting Journey to the number on your screen, and then we can get you signed up for the next workshop that works for you. But I have a feeling there's more skipping to do, guys. We've got another stop on our journey.
We have another stop. Let's get back on the yellow brick road and skip to the investment pillar of your Retire Secure roadmap.
And I've got a lot of questions about investment. You know, when I've been working, I've been putting some money into a 401k, maybe had an IRA and some other things. But I have a feeling you guys are going to tell me that I need to shift my mindset as I head towards retirement.
Dorothy, you should have a lot of questions at this stage of life, because investing and saving is much different at this stage of life than what you've been used to. Those same decisions and questions you had to answer when you've been working, saving, and accumulating, they're different now at this pre-retirement stage of life and beyond. We're going to help you have that much more information, more transparency than what you've ever had before. The volatility that we all take on in the markets, none of us can control it. We're going to have up times, we're going to have down times. But it means more to you now when you are on the doorsteps of retirement, or even in retirement while you're taking money out. So you want to have a better understanding of how much risk you're taking on. There's other strategies that can make sense for you, Dorothy, at this stage of life that probably didn't make sense for you in your 20s, 30s, and 40s. So you want to be having that information so you can consider what else you should be thinking about as you design your portfolio.
Yeah, I think about risk. I think about, getting to that Emerald City and taking some risk, but I'm also really worried about losing money now that I'm getting really close to actually spending that money I've been saving.
And how could you not be worried about losing money? Every time we turn on the news, we see all the crazy things that are taking place in the world, and you see the stock market go this way and you see it go this way. And next you're thinking about you being retired, dependent upon that income, and that portfolio has to last for maybe 20 to 30 years. That is a scary situation. That's why we have to incorporate the investment plan with your income plan and your tax plan. Your investments will last last longer if you have an effective income strategy. Your investments will last longer if you have an effective tax planning strategy to decrease the amount that you have to send to the IRS and increase how much you get to use for your lifestyle. So all of those have to work together. And if you have that strategy, you can have a really successful investment experience with way less anxiety, even less anxiety than when you were working, putting money in. Now stakes are higher being retired, but you don't have to be so stressed out about something you can't control, like the movement of the markets, if you control your investment plan.
Yeah, I think once I get to that Emerald City, I don't want to watch the headlines. I don't want to necessarily watch the stock market and worry that if something bad happens, I won't be able to enjoy all those things we talked about at that first stop on the yellow brick road.
Yeah, you're looking for more confidence, Dorothy, to make sure that you're doing the right things. There's a lot of these decisions you're going to make that are impactful on that retirement journey. Some of these decisions are going to be one time. So we need to make sure we have that information. It's important to quantify it. At this stage of life, Dorothy, you're going to want to have a sense of exactly, based on how much risk you're taking, what does that mean for your portfolio in the markets? You've got that $1 million lying that you talked about. Does that mean in a poor market it could go down to 800,000 or could it go all the way down to 600,000? That's scary. And like you said, you don't want to be watching it. So that's where you want to be looking for having that overall plan. Consider working with a professional, someone like our team that helps retirees plan for their retirement to and through retirement.
When we think about this investment pillar, this reminds me of your journey to Oz. What got you to Oz, which is the tornado, is not what got you back home. You clicked your heels 3 times. What got you to where you are in retirement is not the strategies that are going to get you through retirement. And of all the 6 pillars, this investment pillar is probably the one you need to modify the most to make sure you do have that smoothest journey home.
And I can't get to retirement without some help from my friends. So we're going to continue our journey along the yellow brick road. 2 more stops next.
We are dreaming of retirement, but we have so many questions.
How can I figure out if I have enough money saved for retirement?
What is the roadmap for growing my investments without taking too much risk?
What steps can I take now to lower my tax bill in retirement?
I'd like to retire before 65, but wonder if I can afford health care. Where can I learn about my options?
Our Journey to Retirement workshop is here for you. Go on an interactive retirement journey through the eyes of a hypothetical couple faced with real retirement. Watch as they build a plan that covers the 6 essential pillars of retirement: lifestyle, income, taxes, investment, healthcare, and legacy. You'll see how our retirement planners help John and Sue make the most of their retirement savings and live out their retirement vision. Sign up for the online Journey to Retirement workshop today at retirewithmerkle.com, and you'll be one step closer to retiring with confidence.
Dreaming of retirement but not sure how to get started? You've been searching for answers online, talking to friends, even getting advice from coworkers, but everyone says something different. You need answers for your situation. Schedule a personalized one-on-one conversation with a retirement planner at retirereadycall.com. Get answers to your questions on your time from the comfort of your home. Stop dreaming of retirement and take the first step towards retiring with confidence today. Go to retirereadycall.com.
Welcome back to Retiring Today. I just want to get to the Emerald City so I can retire, and I'm getting some help from the Tin Man and the Lion, my friends. And we have come on quite a journey so far.
We've made a lot of progress so far, Dorothy. We've helped you figure out your lifestyle plan and what this new stage of life is going to look like, how you're going to pay for it with building your income plan, helped you save some money along the way with your tax plan, and helped you feel really good about what you're doing with your portfolio as we helped you build your investment plan.
And our next stop on the yellow brick road is healthcare.
Oh, when it comes to healthcare, I've got some questions here, some concerns, and one that I've really been thinking about is long-term care. I know it's really expensive, and I don't quite understand how I'll pay for that in retirement.
It's one of the biggest quandaries of most people in your shoes, Dorothy, as you hear studies that say you have a 70% likeliness that you're going to need some kind of long-term care in retirement, and then you hear the price tag around what that cost is going to be, somewhere over $315,000. So you're wondering, how are you going to pay for that and pay for your lifestyle and all the other plans that you have over the course of your retirement? There's a lot of options that you can choose today that you didn't have to choose before. The traditional method would be to obtain long-term care insurance, just traditional insurance. Today, with some of the other methods that you can use a hybrid approach where you use investments and a hybrid long-term care type policy where if you never need long-term care, you just take the money as income and it helps you on your way with your retirement dreams. But if you need long-term care, then you have that in place to offset a big part of that long-term care cost. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. And so it's worthwhile, Dorothy, to really evaluate what your options are today to offset that risk and really provide you solace as you go through retirement.
Lion Tinman, I've been getting a ton of information about Medicare. It is a lot to go through, and it's quite overwhelming.
Dorothy, you're not alone in feeling confused about Medicare. There's a lot of different thoughts and information out there. One option is to simply answer all those phone calls, respond to all those emails, and watch all those commercials. That
sounds like a great option.
It is one option, but here at Merkle Retirement Planning, we think we've got a better option. So you remember Glenda the Good Witch in the movie that helped Dorothy out? We have our own version of the Good Witch here at Merkle Retirement Planning. Anna Marie Morrow is our Director of Medicare. That's her area of expertise. She helps all of our families, all the individuals that we work with, decipher everything that comes along with Medicare.
It's good to have Anna Marie Morrow as one of the characters and one of the stops on the Yellow Brick Road.
Another stop on the Yellow Brick Road, which happens to be our final stop, is the legacy stop. Now, when we talk about legacy planning, there's typically two prevailing thoughts. One thought is you want to spend your last dollar on your last day. The problem with that, as far as planning is concerned, is when's your last day? Very few people know that. So we want to make sure that whenever your last day is, that whatever you have left over goes to your loved ones and your charities in the most efficient way possible. The other prevailing thought is you want to leave a meaningful legacy to whomever, and you need to have specific plans in place for that. Regardless of what your goals are from a legacy standpoint, you need to make sure that your will is updated, incorporate a trust if it makes sense to you. What's the difference between a will and a trust? And then, of course, your powers of attorney and other living documents that you could incorporate to make sure when your last day arrives, you have in place what you need.
And Dorothy, it's important to know if you don't build that legacy plan, the state already has a plan in place for you. So if you do nothing, your assets are still going to end up in some place, but it may not be exactly what your wishes are.
Guys, we're here. We're at the Emerald City. I see it all coming together, and I'm feeling really confident about heading into retirement.
And the last time we arrived at this point, Glenda the Good Witch asked you a very poignant question. She said, Dorothy, what did you learn through your journey? So Dorothy, at the end of your retirement planning journey, what did you learn?
Well, I learned what a comprehensive plan looks like. I learned that it's much more than the investments that I've been investing in. It's going to take more to get me to and through retirement, and I want confidence that I can get all the way to the Emerald City, living the lifestyle that I want to live. But you know what, more importantly, I learned? It's going to take some help from my friends, and I was so glad to have the Tin Man and the Lion with me along the way.
It was our honor to be there. After all, you did help us out quite a bit, and this is one of the scariest journeys that you're going to go on because you've never been on this retirement journey before. And when you do something for the very first time, there's a lot of pitfalls that could happen along the way. That written retirement roadmap, our Retire Secure roadmap, can allow you to jump over some of those pitfalls so you don't fall in, scrape your knee, and get derailed on your way. You've been dreaming about this for a long time. Let's make sure that you have the most fun and excitement you can.
What about your retirement journey? You probably won't be dressed as Dorothy, the Tin Man, or the Lion, but you want to retire. What does that look like for you? Our Journey to Retirement workshop is a great way to see this all play out, because today we just took some quick stops at each one of those pillars. But in that Journey to Retirement workshop, you're there, Chawn. You're there too, and you were there, and you were there, and you take people through each pillar, spend a little bit more time there, and if you watch it, I think you'll see some things that you can do right now, action steps to put yourself in a better position to retire.
We have the opportunity in that Journey to Retirement workshop to spend a little more time on each of these important pillars of the Retire Secure roadmap. So now we get to talk about real examples that you want to be thinking about that you may be able to implement right then and there, or at least gives you information about what you need to be thinking about between now, where you're at, and that point of retirement. So it's so important to take that first step. You know, we get that question often about what is a retirement plan and how do you build one? You've got to take step one before you can ever get all the way down the yellow brick path to having that comprehensive retirement plan.
And the Journey to Retirement workshop is so convenient. So whether you're in Oz or you're in Kansas or you're in Iowa, you can take this information from your own couch and apply it to your situation to help improve what you're doing. So it's easy. It doesn't cost anything. You can have a good time on the couch while you're taking in this important information to really propel you to your journey.
I mean, I might even say it's better than a famous movie with some famous characters in it. I mean, it's
right up there.
It's right up there. Pop the popcorn and get ready to take a journey to retirement. So here's what you do. It's as easy as a text, really. Text journey to the number that's on your screen. Then we'll let you know when the next workshop is. You can sign up for one of the workshops that works for you and then get comfortable, because you're going to learn what goes into putting together a comprehensive retirement plan. Guys, are we ready? Are we done? Have we achieved what we want to achieve today on our journey to retirement?
You tell us, Dorothy. It's your retirement. Did you learn everything you needed to?
I learned that retirement can be a lot of fun, and I'm going to feel a lot better about heading into it if I have a plan to head into it.
It's about the confidence.
Because then I can have a lot of fun no matter what I do in retirement.
So it's about getting that information you need. If you've made all the right decisions along the way, let's not put it to chance.
This is Retiring Today, and we thank you for watching.
We are dreaming of retirement, but we have so many questions.
How can I figure out if I have enough money saved for retirement?
What is the roadmap for growing my investments without taking too much risk?
What steps can I take now to lower my tax bill in retirement?
I'd like to retire before 65, but wonder if I can afford health care. Where can I learn about my options?
Our Journey to Retirement workshop is here for you. Go on an interactive retirement journey through the eyes of a hypothetical couple faced with real retirement. Watch as they build a plan that covers the 6 essential pillars of retirement: lifestyle, income, taxes, investment, healthcare, and legacy. You'll see how our retirement planners help John and Sue make the most of their retirement savings and live out their retirement vision. Sign up for the online Journey to Retirement workshop today at retirewithmerkle.com, and you'll be one step closer to retiring with confidence.